I've been saying for a while, man, in the coming weeks, expect the game releases to pick back up, and tomorrow is a clear indication of that. We have so many new titles coming out tomorrow, some big games, some other titles that aren't getting as much attention, however, they look like incredibly compelling titles in the same right. We've got a total of 8 games to go over. That's a little bit more than usually we cover in these videos, so without further ado, let's get right into it. This is gonna be a longer video, so pay attention. Kicking things off, I definitely want to mention Remedy Entertainment's latest game in Control. Now, Control is a game that I am very excited for. If you guys have been watching our videos for a little bit, you know that I've also said that this is probably not the game I would pay $60 for right away. That's not necessarily because the game isn't going to be worth $60. However, just understanding how gaming works from an economic sense, Control is exactly the kind of game that I see going to that $25 to $30 range come Black Friday. Is it going to be a bad game? Probably not. It's probably going to be a pretty great game, and if you're into single-player narrative-driven experiences, this is one you should definitely check out. Again, it's coming from Remedy, the guys that brought you Alan Wake and Quantum Break, and this in a lot of senses following a lot of the gameplay elements that Quantum Break put into place. Control is played from a third-person perspective and is built using Remedy's proprietary Northlight engine, and it looks rather good from a visual standpoint. It was first used on the company's previous title of Quantum Break, that being the Northlight engine, and you play as main character Jesse Faden. You wield the service weapon, a supernatural firearm that can be adapted into a variety of different forms with different combat applications. In addition to the service weapon, Jesse also possesses a variety of supernatural abilities, including telekinesis, levitation, and the ability to control certain enemies. How about that? Now you understand where the name is coming from. The service weapon and Jesse's abilities both expend Jesse's energy, necessitating a balance in their usage. The service weapon can be upgraded throughout the game via a skill tree. In order to gain new powers, players must locate various objects of power, ordinary items acted upon by supernatural forces hidden throughout the oldest house. Due to the versatility of the game's loadouts, Control's combat system can be customized and balanced to each player's personal preference. Health and Control does not recharge automatically, rather you gotta pick it up from fallen enemies. So from a gameplay standpoint, it has quite a bit of depth to it. Now, the issue with Remedy games in the past has been from a longevity standpoint. I remember Alan Wake clear as day. That game was received rather well when it was released. The real problem with it was that it was just like a 7-hour game and it was a full $60. That's where I would think that pricing a game at, say, $40 would be a lot more palatable to some people. Now, in the case of Control, it does look like this game is going to have a lot more content. The developers noted that this is looking to have around 15 hours of gameplay, which is pretty good, and there are going to be a pair of expansions released for the game as well. I believe they have a deluxe edition that is on sale on the PlayStation Store. You can get it for like $72, which, yeah, that's kind of a crazy price point, but nonetheless, the base game will be $59.99. If you've liked Remedy's previous outings, which I know for a lot of you guys you haven't even checked out because they haven't come out on PlayStation 4 prior to this title. Those games were published by Microsoft, this one published by 505 Games. Control might be a title to check out at the very least. Keep this on your wish list and pick it up down the line when it does go on sale, because again, I could see it going on sale very quickly. Alright, here's a title that hardly anyone is talking about, but whenever I've mentioned it to people, they instantly get captivated by it, and that is Decay of Logos. Decay of Logos is a brand new action RPG, and it notes immerse yourself in the world of Decay of Logos and unravel its mysteries, explore old dungeons, battle unforgiving foes, and journey through a vibrant, interconnected fantasy realm with your mystical elk companion. So from a visual standpoint, this looks very unique. It's got a little bit of a watercolor art style that looks absolutely fantastic, and it also notes embark on a journey of revenge and betrayal set in motion by the destruction of our young adventurers' village at the hands of Crimson Knights. Find solace in your mystical elk companion as you battle the unforgiving foes that roam this once peaceful realm. Venture into ancient ruins and dungeons in search of their rewards in a quest to find truth behind the attack of Ada's home. Take heed, there's a dark and treacherous force at work in this world that corrupts even its inhabitants. There's so much to digest with this game, and it really reminds me a little bit of Prince of Persia, a little bit of Legend of Zelda. I don't know, maybe comparing it to IPs as iconic as those is going a little bit too far, but it does look rather good. Again, you've got a high fantasy world, you've got some enticing gameplay that also touts challenging combat, and it does look like there's a pretty strong narrative attached to all of it. Whatever the case may be, Decay of Logos is a game that I think a lot of you guys should keep on your radar. It might be a game that's worth picking up day one, and best of all, the price point is really good. It's going to be released at $19.99, so I feel like that's going to be palatable to a lot of people. And it might be one title you want to check out right away. Again, it is out tomorrow, a digital-only release, but one that I think is going to surprise a lot of people. Next up, here's another one that's very exciting to see make the transition to the PlayStation 4, and that is Wreckfest. Wreckfest has been out for quite a while on PC, but now it finally comes over to the PlayStation 4, and it's coming to the PS4 with a bang. Wreckfest is a demolition derby themed racing game with soft body damage modeling, sophisticated driving dynamics, and in-depth vehicle upgrading featuring both demolition derbies and more traditional track races, so it's got a mix of all of those gameplay styles. It's all about fun, breakneck racing, and over-the-top crashes. If you want a game that's a little bit high octane, I should really take out the little bit there. It is a very high octane racer. You are going to find that here with Wreckfest. Expect epic races, neck-to-neck fights over the finish line, and brand new ways for metal to bend. These are the once-in-a-lifetime moments that can only be achieved in Wreckfest with its true-to-life physics simulation created by legendary developer Bugbear, who also brought you Flat Out 1 and 2. If you like games like Burnout, if you like more arcadey racers, this is going to be right up your alley, and it is going to be released at a $39.99 price point, which I think is pretty good. Again, this is the kind of game that I think $60 would be a little off-putting to people, but at $40, I think a lot more people are going to check it out. I'm excited to see how it turns out. It was received very well on PC, and hopefully it makes a similar impact on the PlayStation 4. Next up, here's another PC title that's making the transition to consoles. This one hasn't been talked about all that much, even when it was released on PC, and that is Invisigun Reloaded. Invisigun Reloaded, I feel like when some of you guys take a look at this game, you're instantly going to be hooked on it based on its pixel graphics art style, so if you're a fan of old school titles, this one's going to be right up your alley. It notes that this is the ultimate stealth battle adventure where everyone's invisible. Risk versus reward guides your journey through the full-length single-player campaign and local online multiplayer. Vigilance is key as environmental tells such as footprints and other disturbances will point out careless cadets. Now, this game didn't get a lot of attention when it was released on PC, but it was received well by the people that did play it. It released all the way back in February of 2017, and there are only 217 Steam user reviews. However, it is at 92% positive, which is really good. It notes a single-player campaign. Challenge yourself in the hero's journey. Individually tailored hero campaigns filled with puzzle rooms, skill challenges, and boss fights. The unique abilities have entire journeys built specifically to teach you to properly use that hero's playstyle, all while the art of stealth and mastery of movement becomes second nature. Once you've honed your skills in the hero's journey and defeated all of your friends, you'll want to challenge the world. Online matchmaking, public or private matches with join keys allow you to find a foe anytime, anywhere. Hopefully the community does persist because, again, this was a game that went a little bit under the radar on PC, but hopefully it finds a larger fan base on consoles. We'll see how it turns out. Again, this one is due out tomorrow. Was released at $19.99 on PC. That might be a little bit high of a price point for a game like this. Again, you compare this to a game like Decay of Logos. Decay of Logos does look a little bit bigger budget. In the case of Invisigun Reloaded, definitely captivated by the title, and I'm definitely interested in checking it out, but I think a $14.99 or even something like a $12.99 price point would have been better for this one. Nonetheless, that's just me being cheap as hell. You guys know how I am, but I'm hoping for the best out of this one. Next up, for those of you that are fans of Japanese RPGs, you'll want to have your attention focused on Crystar. Crystar is a pretty interesting JRPG. I think it's going to be for those that are really a big fan of the Japanese RPG genre. If you're looking to get into JRPGs, this is absolutely not the title for you, not the title to get into the genre with. However, it does have a very anime look to it, and it notes fight through your tears in an action RPG, combat the souls of the dead as you explore the afterworld of Purgatory. Play as 4 different characters and unlock their memories to learn the truth behind their stories and secrets. Power through grief. The battle system includes an otherworldly being who fights alongside you. Gather your grief and endure torments to summon your guardian. Tears give you strength. Crying will help you take down monsters that empower your equipment. In Crystar, tears aren't a sign of weakness, but of strength. I know a lot of you guys would disagree with that notion, but nonetheless, Crystar definitely catered towards an audience that is already familiar with Japanese games, and it is due out tomorrow. That hefty price point might be a little bit off-putting to some people, but nonetheless, wanted to give that a mention as well. Next up, here's a very iconic series making a comeback. Maybe some of you guys aren't familiar with the Bards Tale, however, it's coming back with the Bards Tale 4 Director's Cut. The Bards Tale 4 Director's Cut is the triumphant return of one of the most iconic RPG series of all time. Delve into a tactically rich combat system that rewards creativity, solve puzzles to gain treasures and advantages, and discover a beautifully crafted world. You can play as Bard, Fighter, Practitioner, and Rogue, each featuring 60 to 70 skills and collectively unlocking 21 unique classes. Build an array array of characters to make every playthrough a unique experience. Craft your party your way, a lot of options in recruiting or creating new heroes to bolster your ranks, build a party that suits your playstyle. And this is a tactics-based game. You'll have to make a lot of choices in how you progress through the game. However, that's just going to make it even more engaging. It is being done by inXile, so that is something I wanted to note, and the Bard's Tale 4 Director's Cut is due out tomorrow. It is going to be priced at $34.99. There is also a deluxe edition for $49.99, and that, of course, will come with some additional content. Next up, I also want to give a mention to a new Double Fine published title in Knights and Bikes. Knights and Bikes has an awesome art style. That's what's going to stand out right away. It's a hand-painted action adventure set on British Island in the 1980s. You'll play as Nessa and Demelza, tough, imaginative girls exploring the island in a Goonies-inspired tale, an adventure that sees them pedaling into danger, seeking treasure and ancient mysteries to solve, and it actually looks like it has quite a bit of depth to it. Best Friends Forever, play single player with an AI companion, or you can play couch co-op, which is awesome, or online co-op is an option as well. The fact that it includes couch co-op is great. We've seen a lot of games in recent years forego on that, but whenever a game does have couch co-op, I have to give it some credit. Working together is also going to be a big element. Solve puzzles and deal with enemies using your improvised abilities, explore the land, discover treasure, upgrade your bikes, and tend to your pet goose. So this is an incredibly charming game, and again, I imagine that a lot of you guys are going to be interested immediately based on the interesting art style. We'll see how it turns out as it is due out tomorrow. And lastly, here is a game that saw a slight delay for whatever reason. Was supposed to release last week, and now it'll be out either tomorrow or it might already be out today. A little bit of uncertainty regarding when it's exactly going to be released, but that is Tokyo Chronos. Tokyo Chronos is a very interesting title if you do have PlayStation VR. This is a PlayStation VR exclusive game, and it's a visual novel utilizing PlayStation VR. Now, I was always of the notion that a game like Danganronpa could work really well with the VR, and we saw that Danganronpa tech demo for PlayStation VR, but now we have a game that was designed for VR and PlayStation VR. It's set in an empty, deserted Shibuya where time is frozen over, a mystery full of suspense woven by 8 childhood friends trapped inside a lost memory, a mysterious message. I am dead, who killed me, to kill or not to kill, you decide, and of course there's going to be a lot of decision making in this game as well. If you're a fan of visual novels like Zero Escape and Danganronpa and you have PlayStation VR, this is a game that you're probably going to want to check out right away. It was released on PC earlier this year and it was received really well over there. Not a lot of people played it, but the 79 Steam reviews have it pegged at 93% positive, and it was released for $39.99 over there. I imagine we would get a similar price point on the PlayStation 4, so again, at least it's less than that traditional $60 price tag. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, a lot of titles to go over. Tomorrow's gonna be a pretty big day for game releases. While we don't have that banner huge title necessarily, I think games like Control, Decay of Logos, Wreckfest, even Invisigun Reloaded, all of those games have an audience, and I think anybody watching this video could at least be captivated by one of those games, whether it be a Decay of Logos, whether it be Control. Invisigun Reloaded looks really good. Knights and Bikes I think is gonna surprise a lot of people, and I know a lot of you guys don't even know about some of these titles, so definitely have these on your radar. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.